G'day my friends, Marty Ware here from Marty's Garden. Got the beanie on, the jacket, 8 degrees, 8.4 this morning. Yesterday in between vlogs I didn't vlog, it was 0.7 when I went down to check the surf. I remember harvesting the eggs in that morning and they felt cold, man. Oh, it was chilly, but I still went surfing. Water was 20 degrees, which is like pretty warm, right? So anyway, look, I'm sorry if I don't know the Fahrenheit ones, but I think around 33 degrees is probably your 100 Fahrenheit. Anyone, there'll be someone in the comments box that will know that variation, so let me know. Anyway, what do you think of the beanie? This is my favourite beanie, and I call it the Bumblebee, or some people like to call it Where's Wally. I think that's quite funny if you know who Where's Wally is. I like Bumblebee because it's got like a bit of a bumblebee bum thing going on. And this jacket keeps my neck warm because I've got that neck problem with the dystonia. So I didn't go surfing this morning. It wasn't great. There was a lot of people out and I think it's going to get better. So I'm going to go later on today. But I've got something exciting for you in today's vlog because I've been growing some microgreens again. I got some mustards growing. So if you remember watching a video a few weeks back now, called My Secret Seed Source. If you haven't seen that, I'll leave a card at the end, towards the end of the video for you. Now, this is coriander growing here, and I've got a nice big tray of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I grow it, and I'm going to pot it up because I'm going to be selling pots of coriander because I can grow this pretty much 9 months of the year. Now, it is a tricky plant to grow, so I'm going to share my tips and tricks for growing it because what happens is it bolts to seed a lot. So people that are buying the plants from me, they can watch this video and get the best results from it and grow the best plants that they can. And also, all you crew out there that love watching the Marty's Garden show, if you want to grow coriander and have another go at it, you haven't had success, maybe it's time because you can get the cheap seed if you buy spice seed. I got this from Rusty Spice up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Pretty good stuff, and it's growing really well. So anyway, let's get stuck into it. And yeah, it's another vlog here from Marty's Garden. Let me know what you think about the Bumblebee beanie, or you want the hat back on. It's a bit cold for the hat this morning. All right, let's go. Oh, I think both the chickens are laying eggs. They usually take turns going into the coop, and you can hear them going clock, 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 clock. Let's have a listen. We can have a listen to what they sound like if it comes out in the microphone. They're gone quiet because I stuck the microphone in. Let's head round the side door here. This is my Hands and Friends coop, recycle coop. We'll have a look, see where they are. Oh look, there's one. That looks like Gertrude at the top. And Emily down the bottom. Alright girls, I'll leave you to it. Thanks for the eggs this morning. Such good chickens. Let's head round here and have a look at the microgreens. Well, they're going to be plants that are growing for me, so I've got to step over the fence here, not trip over the fence. Oh, I love eating that. Let me know if you know what that is. Just a little game for you. Here we go. Mustards. So I've been harvesting, you can see at the back there, and these are baby leaf now because they're into their 3rd stage of leaf. Well, still classed as microgreen at the 2nd stage, but they're just about to go into their 3rd, and beautiful harvesting at that time. Another mustard up there. Now, I was a bit slow on the watering, so that's why we're getting a bit of yellowing here. Now, all-time favourite, the coriander. So look at all the seeds coming up here. They still haven't popped off. Now I planted this seed the same time as I did the mustards, and you can see the growth is much slower because the germination rate is a bit slower. We need about 10 to 24 degrees for these guys to germinate. They're a bit of a fussy germinator, and I water down below like that. So I'm going to show you how I grow these guys. Interesting stuff. Alright, so we've got a nice big pile of Marty's garden compost here, my true compost, and we've got everything ready to go. This is what we call a nursery seedling tray. Underneath a hydroponics tray which fits this perfectly, which I'll show you as we go, and also some vermiculite. And you can hear Gertrude chooking. She's going off in the background there, letting me know that she's laid an egg. She wants to have more food. She's being greedy guts. Alright, so we've got the compost here, and it's already got a bit of moisture locked into it because I've been wetting it down. But what we're going to do is we're going to fill up this tray here with the compost, and then I'll show you the next step. So I've patted this down nice and even so it's nice and flat. I haven't pushed it down to compress it because I want the roots to be able to move through here. And I'm going to get my bag of coriander, which I've already made one tray of, and just give a sprinkle right over. I don't want to go too thick because I'm not doing microgreens as of such. I'm actually planting plants for baby leaf. I'll pick some as microgreens. So I just like a light sprinkle all over. I don't know, there might be a couple of hundred seeds there. And I think I've used more than last time, to tell you the truth, but that's how many I want. And so that's a good amount. And then what I do is I just lightly pat them down again, so there's like a connection with the soil. If they're a bit bunched up, it's a good idea to spread them out a bit too. They're a bit bunched up, those ones. And remember, I'm not growing these really for microgreens. These are to sell and for myself to eat. And I'll show you the next stage on the other tray. So grab a handful of vermiculite here and just start spreading it around lightly over the top. Now this stuff, it's a beautiful little cover mulch because it's so light and fluffy, and by the time sort of the seed's up and it's over, it's dried up, and it's okay to, when you recycle this tray back into your compost system, it's okay because it's an actual organic product made from the volcano. It's actually like a puffed up mineral rock that works a treat, and it really protects your seed and it stores moisture, and I really like it. So if you can get it cheap enough, it's worth using. I buy it in bulk to save myself money. Now I filled this hydroponic tray up about 2/3 away, and you're going, Marty, that's too full. But see, I don't soak my seed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, and then once it's in, so I'm doing all this one-handed. Once it's in there, be a nice tight fit. It's going to soak right up into this system just slowly from below, and then get those seeds moist. By the time it's sort of like nearly evaporated at the end, I'll just wet it, fill it up from down the bottom, and bottom water the whole time. All right, let's go and show you the next stage of what we need to do. So I'm going to put this in next to my mustard greens tray. Now, if you're growing microgreens like this, what you do is you cover it over with one of the black trays. I use the trays that are down the bottom here and just put them as a lid to get the height, because you want to get that height when you're growing microgreens. But I'm sort of growing these differently, and I just want them to come up. They'll take around about anywhere from, like, depending on your climate, 3 days to 10 days. I find usually about a week, and then 3 or 4 days after you get more sort of coming up. And after a few weeks, you got something like this, and then they start growing really quickly once they get to this height. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be repotting these into some more little pots to get them ready to sell. So keep watching the show, or the vlogs I should say, to see how I do that. So how simple is that? It's one of the easiest ways to raise seedlings. Now, if you are raising any seedlings like that, ones that don't like to be disturbed, I don't recommend it unless you're just growing them as microgreens. But coriander, from my experience, no problem whatsoever. And I get to harvest from those trays. So before we get into doing the potting up, what I want to do is I want to explain some tips for you for growing coriander. Now, excuse me about the coriander thing. I know in many countries they also call it cilantro. Now, this plant is used in all different types of curries. I use it in fish cake, sort of like patty things like fish cakes, soups, stews, all different types of stuff. It's a great flavour, beautiful plant. It's really good for you. And you can use the root, you can use the leaf, you can use the seeds. You can grow it on and on. You can let it self-sow in your garden if you've got garden beds, and it will come up at the right time when it's ready. You can actually grab it and just throw it around the garden, and it will come up when it's ready to go and in the right spot. So that's another way that I do grow coriander quite often in my garden. Now, one of the things with coriander / cilantro, shall we say, is it likes to bolt to seed quite quickly. And that can be because of weather variations. Now, just let me bring the chair a bit more forward. Weather variations. I think I need a bit of a shave. What do you reckon? I was checking myself out in the edit and I'm looking a bit scruffy. Haven't shaved for 2 days. I always shave every day. Anyway. Yeah, I've got you looking at me bristles, haven't I? He's looking a bit old, Marty, these days. Right. Back to it. Weather variation. Now, if you get wild fluctuations of weather, unfortunately it will bolt to seed. The best thing you can do is try and keep the temperatures of your plant at an optimum, so where there's not too many radical changes. Sometimes you just can't help it, it's going to happen, that's just nature. But if you can grow it indoors or something like that, or on a windowsill, along those lines, you might be able to keep the variations of temperature much better, even if you've got a little like mini greenhouse or something like that. Now, also letting it dry out. If you let coriander dry out too many times in your pots or in the ground, it's going to bolt to seed real quickly yet again. And if the temperature gets really hot, it's going to bolt to seed. It doesn't like that at extreme temperatures. So you can try the Mexican coriander, which is like this spiky plant that I don't like so much. I know others love it, but I find it a bit hard to handle and spike me too many times. And when it goes to seed, it gets even more spiky. So I prefer this soft leaf, beautiful textured one. It's even nice as a little garnish on top. Now, the soil, close to neutral. Don't overfeed it too much. It doesn't like to be like pampered and baby too much. Just a good quality compost or grown in a good quality potting mix. Keep it moist. As I said, don't let it dry out. Keep it in the right temperature and you will do fine. Now, harvest regularly off your coriander as well. And when it starts to go to seed, let it go to seed. You can eat the little green seeds, like a little pepper sort of thing, and then collect the seed or let it self-sow. All right, I'm off to pot these plants to get them ready to sell to the locals around here. Let's go, shall we? So there's quite a few plants in one of those pots, and they'll be ready in about 2 weeks. And what I'll do is I'll keep spraying them with the liquid seaweed, and I've got a bit of worm tea from my castings as well, which I'll feed into the bottom trays as they sort of soak up. I need to put them into some bottom trays to get them really sort of punching along. Now, school holidays here, so when I'm filming sometimes you might hear some kids out in the street yelling and stuff like that, because I film with my garage door open backwards towards the studio. And once I get the studio set up, I can probably close up and stop the natural light coming in and put all the good lights and stuff in here. Now, I've got some really cool stuff coming up in the future. I'm going to keep you more updated on the worms with the pellets, because there's some exciting stuff going on there with those. Also, the coriander as it grows. And look, it's winter here, so I'm not doing a great deal of gardening, but there's still plenty going on for you guys to watch, consume, learn, and enjoy. Mr. Music's still hanging around, the DJ. Been a bit lazy. It's getting slow getting the music on. But we were talking, and he said, man, you've got to get the bushranger thing going, because you're doing all the Aussie Ned Kelly stuff and that. And what about some favourite, say, bushrangers, or whatever you guys like to call them in the States? Let me know down below who your favourite ranger is. Like, maybe you don't have one. Oh, I don't know. But it's all fun. Give me one of those big double boomer bangers. Double thumbs up. Bushranger. Smoking gun barrel things that I really like getting. There's a dog over the street, new neighbours. He loves to bark. We might even get a chance to go over and meet him one day soon and say g'day. It's been awesome making these vlogs. I hope you're enjoying them. Please let me know what you're digging down below. Ready, please, Mr. Music? Have a great day. Yep, the tunes. Happy gardening. We'll see you at the next video real soon. Make sure you stay subscribed, because plenty of updates, all cool stuff coming. It's just rocking here at Marty's Garden. Thanks again. Music, turn it up. Yeah! See you soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
And how long can we walk that line between the sea and sand? How long can we bide our time for dreams we never planned? For dreams we never planned. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, it's growing long across the lawn. Another song.